actual talk. Generally, we know the talks are very boring. So, we'll see how many of you are still awake at the end of the talk. That's a test for me, how do I speak. So, it's a very simple bhajan. If you know, or if you have got your phone, you can take out. Most devotees know. It is Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari. We sing this in the beginning so that we remember the Lord and our heart gets purified to hear the message. Because generally we are not very enthused to hear someone talk for 1 hour, maybe 45 minutes, maybe whatever time. But when we sing this bhajan nicely, then at least our heart gets softened and we can hear the message. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravana Chari Yamuna Tiravana Chari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Shri Radha Madhav ki, Shri Radha Giri Govardhan ki, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So thank you again for coming. Today we're going to speak a little bit about the world's best alarm clock. So can someone read this for me, please? Spiritual life is for the most intelligent people. Now, how do I say this? So generally when we speak something, we know there are 3 evidences. One is our own senses. We gather evidence from our senses, which are of course limited. The second is inference, that means logic. Something we hear and then we imply some things. You see smoke in a distance and you assume that there's a fire. That's the logic, the inference works. Both of them have got very limited application. And the third one is what we call the Shabda. Shabda means the word spoken by the ancient scriptures. So one of our ancient scriptures, it tells us, Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam, Sango Pangastra Parsadam, Yagnair Sankirtanai Prayar, Yajantihi Sumedashaha. That means, in this age, as we know, this age is also called the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. Does anyone understand this? We have issues over small things, very, very small things. So this age, it says it's an ocean of faults. But there's only one thing which is good. We'll come to that. And then the slok ends with Yajantihi Shumedasha, that someone wants to practice spiritual life, that person is going to be Medha, Sumedasha. Medha means, you heard a devotee's name, Medhavi. Medhavi means someone who's got Yes, very much intelligence. He's very intelligent. So Sumedha means most intelligent. That's why it says here, spiritual life is for most intelligent people. So please congratulate yourself. Pat on your back. Yes, I am one of them. We want to be following spiritual life and following very properly in a very scientific manner, but which is also very simple. Now, when we talk of spiritual life, this verse clearly says that Krishna, the Supreme Person, He comes in this age of quarrel and hypocrisy. But how does He come? He doesn't come in his bluish black color. He comes in his golden color, Krishna Varnam. Right? Tamal, you want to give class here? So, and then that verse also says that one who follows this path is very intelligent. Now, how do we follow this path? So, we'll speak about that. Do you think, are we all intelligent? Not too many yeses. I think Prasadam was too heavy. What do you think? Are we all intelligent? Yes, actually we are. And that's why we have chosen to be here. That even a simple Saturday evening, what I want to request you today is, all of you one by one, just think in yourself, in your own minds, that what message am I going to take from this evening? Anything. Any experience you've had. Someone who's welcomed you nicely. You have a nice prasadam here. What we are going to speak, we can take some message from there, or even when we chant and dance, take some message from there. But just one request, you've come all the way from wherever you have come. I met a couple of people, they've come all the way from North Lakes. North Lakes is like closer to Cairns for us. So they've come all the way from North Lakes and they've taken this effort. So we want to request them that just take this message from here. So what are you showing here? What can you see here? What can anyone say? What is shown here? Come on, wake up everyone. Someone is getting married, okay. What else? Picnic, yes. And some sport is happening here, right? So now we understand our conversation depends on our environment, right? If you are a participant in any sports event, what would be your thought process? What would be your goal there? May my team win. Yes, may my team win. So based on wherever we are, our goalpost is determined by that environment. Yeah. If you are having a picnic, what's your goal? To enjoy, to chit chat. Yeah. To have a good time together. And if you are in a wedding ceremony, again, the goal is different. Yeah. You might speak about someone's dress, you might speak about how the bride looks. So various places we go to, our conversation, our aims, our goals, our purposes keep on changing. Any youngsters here? No? Okay. Many youngsters, yes. Youngsters are actually, embarrassed to, raise their hands. I don't know why. What do you think if you go in any of these places, what do you talk about? Does anyone talk about serious topics in life in these areas? No. We understand even if you speak about something, it keeps on changing. Your tone will change, your language will change, your actual substance of what you're speaking is changing. So our conversation depends on our environment. It's very important. And now we'll come to the main topic is, what is the world's best alarm clock? So what happens is, when we go to these places, our purposes are very different. You go to a wedding, you go there to enjoy. Right? You go to a social function, you get to go there to meet someone, or to sometimes share what you know, share your experiences. So different places give you different purposes. So can someone read it from, please, Mataji's? Anyone? Jenny, read this? Yes?
What is the world's best alarm clock? It is said that our purpose in life is the world's best alarm clock. Purpose in life is to attain perfection.
Yes. So imagine this, what does the alarm clock do? Yes, sometimes snooze button is handy also. So alarm clock is basically, meant to wake us up. And if we don't have any purpose in life, then why are we waking up? So world's best alarm clock is actually our purpose in life. Imagine if you have a purpose in life and you're getting up in the morning, you are all enthused and you are ready to go. Yeah? We know that there are three modes. Modes of goodness, modes of passion, mode of ignorance. Yeah? There are how many hours in a day? 24 hours in a day. 8 hours in mode of goodness, 8 hours in mode of passion where we achieve things, we go for work, and 8 hours when we are sleeping in the mode of ignorance. Yeah? But when we get up in the morning, if we have a purpose in life, then we'll be very excited, we'll be very enthused. And what is that purpose in life? Now, based on what we saw earlier, every situation we are going in social environment, the purpose is changing. Yeah, if you go to a sports arena, my team should win. If you go to a wedding party, I should look the best. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who is the most beautiful of all? Yeah, so I want to look the most beautiful. That's the purpose of going. It is said that most people don't dress to beautify themselves. Do you know why they dress? So that others can see them. So the purposes are different, but there is one way to attain perfection, and that should be our purpose of life. And imagine a situation where you don't have any purpose in life. Even after we come to spiritual life, many times we see that there is not much purpose in life. We are just plodding along, in a mechanical manner. But if we really do some introspection, the purpose of life is to attain perfection. And perfection how? So as we said, we live in the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. And again, as we said, that what our scriptures tell us, about this age. What do we do to attain perfection in this age? Can anyone say? Any guesses before I put the next slide on? Sankirtan Yagna, who said that? Okay. So on what basis Sankirtan Yagna? Sankirtan means chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Right? And of course, chanting together is the highest. Of course, yes. So where do we get that from? From again our ancient scriptures, yes? Srimad Bhagavatam. So next verse tells us, can you please repeat after me? Harer Nama, Harer Nama. Harer Nama eva kevalam. Kala nastyeva nastyeva. Nastyeva gatiranyatha. So this verse basically comes from two scriptures, not one scripture. So that means it is very emphatic. If something is spoken about this age, and something is coming repeated twice, that means emphasis is given. So does someone want to read the translation, please? Loudly.
In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. There is no other way. There is no other way. Consider it. There is no other way. Have to accept it.
So 3 times it is repeated. And when something is repeated 3 times means, first time if someone tells you, you might skip it. But the same thing is told to you second time, that means you have to consider it, maybe, maybe not. But if someone is saying 3 times, that means we must think of accepting it. And imagine the parents' instructions to the children. Do this. You have to do this. Maybe. No, you must do this right now. Okay, I'll do it. You know, this verse is written in the Bhaktivedanta Manor Temple in London, right? So when new Englishman came and he was asking the devotees, he says, who is this Eva? So the devotee saying, what happened? He says, no, who is this Eva? So the devotee says, but what happened? He says, there's so much nasty Eva. She's so nasty. So the devotee said, nah, this is not nasty Eva. This is a Sanskrit pronunciation, nasti eva, 3 times. Basically, it's telling us that in this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, there's no other way, there's no other way, there's no other way. Now just understand that this is such a simple process. Such a simple process. Yeah? In our spiritual life, we begin with chanting. What is in the middle? Chanting. And what is at the end? Chanting. Yeah? So we just sing the names of the holy names of the Lord and we become happy. Yeah? So in the beginning, we are struggling. We are struggling to chant. We chant mechanically, we chant. But even at the end, either, we sometimes go in seclusion, sometimes we just, be ourselves and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And sometimes, together, as we'll be doing this evening, we'll be chanting together. So either in seclusion or at the end, together we chant the holy name. Now, our purpose is just chanting the holy name in whatever situation we are. Now you might say, this is very simple, how can we attain perfection? But the scriptures are telling us, so we have to have some faith that there is no other means of deliverance. And there are 2 scriptures telling us, both Kali Santarni Upanishad. Kali Santarni Upanishad is for this age, that even if you don't do anything else, just chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and you will attain perfection. And the second one is Brihan Naradya Puran, where the first engineer of the universe, the first creator, Brahma, is speaking to Narad. So he's telling that there's no other way because, people are concerned, the sages are concerned as to what is going to happen to the living entities in this day and age, where there's going to be quarrel and hypocrisy at every stage. Bhagavatam describes very nicely. It says, how it goes, Prayan Alpayusha Sabhya, Kalo Madhya Yuga Jana, Manda Sumanda Matayo, Manda Bhagya Upadrita. That means, first of all, in this day and age, our lives are short. And on top of that, the memories are very weak. And on top of that, we are always disturbed. So imagine you to sit here for 40 minutes or 45 minutes. Your mind is just going everywhere. Man, when is this going to finish? Then, even though we are hearing, how much can we retain? We can't retain much. So the age where we live in, all these the disqualifications given. And that's why the process is made very simple. Just chant the holy name of the Lord. Now how powerful it is. How powerful it is. What we achieve when we chant this holy name. So namno hi yavati shakti papa nirharane hari tavat kartum na shaknoti patakam pataki naraha. Simply by chanting one holy name of Hari, a sinful man can counteract the reactions to more sins than he is able to commit. Just imagine this. That if you just chant once, then that name has got so much effect, so much potency, that it will counteract the reactions to more sins than you can even think of committing. Just imagine this. And again, I am not saying this whimsically. This again coming from one of our scriptures. Yeah? Now you might think, really? If I just chant today, one time, all my sins will be gone. Of course, we know that the quality matters. The quality of our calling matters. And what did Prabhupada say? How should we chant? Like a child's crying for the mother. So when the child is crying for the mother, nothing else should come in the way. Only mother can pacify the child. So this way, many times as practicing devotees, we chant. Yeah? How many of us have been chanting regularly? Raise your hands, please. Don't feel shy. Quite a few of us, right? Has Krishna ever come? Yes? Yeah, someone say yes? Okay. How has he come?
On your tongue.
Okay, on your tongue. Yes, Krishna appears as his holy name. But the difference is that when Draupadi calls just once, Krishna comes. And when we call, he doesn't come. Why? Because Draupadi is very focused. We are very unfocused, very disturbed. Draupadi is completely taken shelter of the holy name. What about us? We have taken shelter of our minds and so many thoughts going on in our minds. It's very difficult in a way to practice chanting of the holy name, but it's very easy also. Yeah? Keshav Maharaj says very nicely, this one devotee told him that when they are chanting their rounds, when they observe the mind, it is like an uncut horror movie. Can you imagine an uncut horror movie going through your mind? This is what happens when we're trying to do our meditation. Yeah. But again, if you are meditating in your mind, it becomes difficult. But when you chant nicely with feeling and call out the Lord, one of our spiritual preceptors, one of our spiritual teachers, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, it's an interesting story. We all believe that Krishna is the Lord, right? And he reciprocates because he's a person. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, he reciprocates. So there was one devotee who was Prabhupada's godbrother. His name was Akinchana Krishnadas. Very wonderful devotee, very much, you can say, a lover of the holy name. He used to love the holy name very much. But then, when he was a kid, when he was a little child, he used to go and visit one of our spiritual preceptors, Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And then he'll come out and he'll tell his dad, I don't like this Krishna anymore. I don't like Krishna at all. So the dad will ask, why? What happened? He says, that Baba, that he's referring to Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he says he's chanting with so much love. He's chanting with so much affection. He's chanting with so much attention. He's crying, but even then Krishna is not coming. So I don't trust Krishna. I don't like him at all. Of course, that little kid, ultimately when he grew up, he became a big lover of the holy name. So the name is so powerful that it can actually counteract the reactions of more sins than what we can commit. Okay, so here this is Krishna saying. Prabhu, you want to read that, please?
My dear Narada, actually I do not reside in my abode, Vaikuntha, nor do I reside within the hearts of the yogis, but I reside in that place where my pure devotees chant my holy name and discuss my form, pastimes and qualities.
Yeah, so this Krishna speaking himself to Narad Muni. He says, I do not reside in my abode, Vaikuntha. Nor do I reside within the hearts of the yogis. Normally we think that yogis who are meditating, within them, Krishna is also staying as Paramatma. Krishna says, yes, I am there, but actually my heart is not there. I do not reside in the hearts of the yogis. But where do I live? Where my pure devotees chant my holy name. So just imagine this. Scriptures are telling us time and time and time and time again that all you have to do, nothing else, chant the holy name. Now, as Prabhupada used to say, what is the difficulty? What is the difficulty in chanting the holy name? Can anyone say, why is it difficult to chant the holy name? Sorry?
Because we don't have interest.
No interest. Okay. Yes. What else? No time. Someone said no time. Okay. Yeah.
Material obsession.
Material obsessions. Yes. Too many things we want. Yeah. Not enough faith. Yes. Not enough faith. Mind. So all these reasons are very true. Yeah. That we, do not want to chant. But if we chant and if we call Krishna, he is sure going to come. One of our wonderful devotees, Ayanda Prabhu, he says that when we chant, Krishna in his bluish black form, he comes and dances on our tongue. Right? And actually, he gets so much attracted to us that even if we don't want to chant, he sometimes forces us to chant. Because he likes our company very much. So just imagine, whatever message you want to take home today, just take home that message. I'm going to speak for another probably 5 or 10 minutes and then I'm going to do an exercise with all of you, with your permission. It's completely voluntary, you're not forced. But if you take part, you yourself will feel the effect of the holy name. So Krishna says here that I do not reside anywhere else. It is also described in the scriptures that Krishna says that where my devotees are sleeping and chanting, I sit next to them. Where my devotees are sitting and chanting, I stand next to them and protect them. And then he says, where my devotees are standing up and dancing and chanting, I actually dance with them. Just imagine that. How compassionate, how friendly is Krishna. That we don't have to do anything else. Prabhupada, in one of the classes in Mayapur, he tells the story of a couple, husband and wife. And he says, the wife says, chant, chant, chant. And the husband says, can't, can't, can't. We cannot chant the holy name. That's so difficult because we've got no faith, we've got no time, other material obsessions, so many disturbances are there. But if we chant very nicely, Krishna is going to reside in our hearts. So how do we chant? Do we chant with our just minds? By heart, yes. You've gone to the last step. So sometimes we chant mechanically and sometimes we just chant with our lips. Lips are moving, but then, the nice sound coming, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare. That becomes a nice background music to my streams of thought. I'm thinking about everything else and the holy name just becomes a background music. No, we are not supposed to chant with our minds and our lips, but from our heart. So we chant with our hearts, the perfection will be achieved. So this is a very important verse where every word is very, very important. Nama Chintamani Krishna. So please repeat after me. Nama Chintamani Krishna. Nama Chintamani Krishna. Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto. Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto. Abhinnatva Nama Naminoho. Abhinnatva Nama Naminoho. So Nama means the name. Chintamani. So what is Chintamani means? It's a, touchstone, desire tree, mostly it's touchstone. And which name is like a touchstone? Krishna's name. Krishna's name is like a touchstone. So what does the touchstone do? Grants desires whatever you touch, it becomes very opulent, very wonderful, very amazing. Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Chaitanya means consciousness, right? Consciousness. Rasa means nectar or mellow. We are all looking for mellows, nectar, some juice in everything what we do. Yeah? Anyone who's a fan of video games? You can raise your hands, it's okay. It's okay? Okay. Adikesh, or you? No, come on. It's okay, at least you're honest. At least you're honest. Thank you. See, young boys are honest, They've got very clean hearts. So we get some rus in video games, right? Some people get rus in social media. As they say, smiling faces, crying hearts. Social media, everyone is smiling, but you don't know what's happening behind the scene. Smiling faces, crying hearts. But the actual rasa comes and Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. So the name itself is the embodiment of all the rasas. Every juice where you can get is contained in the holy name. And then what does the name do? Purna Shuddho. That means? Okay, there's one more word. Yes. Completely pure. It is completely pure. Purna Shuddho. Right? It's completely purifying. And then Nitya Mukto. Nitya Mukto means eternally liberating. It is going to liberate us from all our worries, all our stresses, all our anxieties. Life is going to be perfect. That's what we wanted to achieve, right? That's what the alarm clock is for. To wake up to perfection. To wake up to perfection. Now, just think about it. Close your eyes and think about it. When you leave this place, how many worries are going to attack you? Yeah? Many worries are going to attack you. But if you just take shelter of the holy name, chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It is Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto. It's, completely pure and eternally liberating. So just imagine, just this name, as we hear from Viraj Krishna Prabhu time and time again, he quotes the Rupa Goswami. He says, these two words, Krish and Na, have got so much juice, so much mellow, so much nectar in them, that Rupa Goswami, he says, I want 1 million tongues to chant these names. And then obviously, how many ears does he want? 2 million ears he wants. What, with one tongue you chant and 2 ears you hear. So he says, I want 1 million tongues to chant these holy names and 2 million ears. And then he says, Abhinnatvam. Abhinna means the same. Nama Namino, that means the name and the Nami, Krishna and Krishna's name are the same. So what we spoke before, this verse is the proof that Krishna's name and Krishna are the same. They are eternally liberating, they are completely pure, they are complete embodiment of all the juices, all the mellows. Right? The holy name of Krishna is transcendently blissful. It bestows all spiritual benedictions, for it is Krishna himself. Just imagine this. The Supreme Person comes to us so easily. And what we do? We just take it for granted. We don't want to chant. We have so many excuses not to chant. For it is Krishna himself, the reservoir of all pleasure. Krishna's name is complete. And it is a form of all transcendental mellows. It is not a material name under any condition. And it is no less powerful than Krishna himself. Since Krishna's name is not contaminated by the material qualities, there is no question of its being involved with Maya. Now you know what Maya is? Does anyone know what Maya is? Money? Yes. Money is honey. Yes. Do you know what the technical definition of Maya is? that which is not. Yes, someone said correctly, that which is not. So that which is not is Maya. What we see in front of us is actually an illusion. Bhagavatam first verse says it is there, but it is temporary. And we connect with ourselves on an eternal basis, it's just an illusion. So that is Maya, that which is not. You are going for a magic show, and what happens there? The magician shows all the wonderful tricks. You see a movie, the movie is happening. Sometimes we get so involved with the movie that, we start crying when something happens, and we start laughing when something happens. We get scared, we get all the emotions are, completely in tune, in sync with the movie. But our life is actually not in sync. Just think about that. We want to sync our emotions with the movie, but our life is not in sync. Because our goalpost keeps on changing, our purposes keep on changing. So if we want to wake up with the best alarm clock, we have to have a purpose in life. And that purpose is to achieve perfection by chanting the Lord's holy name. So since Krishna's name is not contaminated by the material qualities, there is no question of its being involved with Maya. Krishna's name is always liberated and spiritual. It is never conditioned by the laws of material nature. This is because the name of Krishna and Krishna himself are identical. Such an amazing verse. Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Abhinnatva Nam Naminoho. Prabhupada very kindly, he gave us this very easy and simple formula. So, this is from Bhagavad Markina Dharma. It's a very nice prayer which Prabhupada wrote on the boat when he was going from India to the US. And he actually was praying to the Lord that how will I ever spread this wonderful message to the people of the West? So what does this verse say? What does this verse say? Can someone say please? Can someone try to sing and we'll follow? Anyone? Radha, lead please. Lead the verse, we can follow. Bhakti nahi bedhi nahi khub naam dharo. Bhakti Vedanta naam ebe sarthak karo. So Prabhupada, just imagine a devotee like Prabhupada, he says, Bhakti nahi. That means I have no devotion. I have no devotion. When we get up in the morning, with the world's best alarm clock, now you'll think of I want to get the world's best alarm clock in my house. Yeah? When you get up with that best alarm clock, and you get up in the morning and say, actually yes, I have no bhakti, no devotion, no love for the Lord. Bhakti nahi. And then he says, Bedi nahi. Bedi is the Bengali version of Veda, or knowledge. He says, I don't have any knowledge. Bhakti nahi, Bedi nahi. I don't have any devotion, I don't have any knowledge. Actually, Prabhupada had all the devotion. He had all the knowledge. But he's being humble here, he's showing his humility here. That Bhakti nahi, Bedi nahi. But what is the solution? Khub nama dharo. Khub nama dharo. That means, even though we live in this ocean of faults, in an age of quarrel and hypocrisy, we have got so many weaknesses, so many disqualifications. But just by the chanting of the holy name, we can achieve perfection. Bhakti nahi, Bedi nahi. So please repeat after me. Bhakti nahi, Bedi nahi, khub naam dharo. Bhakti nahi, Bedi nahi, khub naam dharo. Bhakti nahi, Bedi nahi, khub naam dharo. Bhakti Vedanta naam ebe sarthak karo. So we should get up in the morning and think, okay, I have no love, no knowledge, no discipline, I cannot take any vows, I cannot do anything, nothing which is significant I can do. But what I can do is, Khub Naam Dharo. I can chant the holy name as much as, I can. So Prabhupada has given us very simple philosophy, simple process by which we can make our life perfect. And we should wake up every morning with a purpose, with the world's best alarm clock, that I want to make my life perfect. Otherwise, all what we will do is Ahar, Nidra, Bhai, Maithun. Eat, sleep, mate and defend. Eat, sleep, mate and defend. This will go on and on and on in various forms, in various degrees, in various situations. But if we understand that I want to make my life perfect, we should chant the holy name. So I will stop here. I want to do an exercise with you. We have a bag full of chanting beads, and if we can all chant together one round of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra with as much love, as much attention. Also, there are so many difficulties going around in the world. There's wars happening in Ukraine and Russia. There's so much uncertainty happening. So if we can chant for, basically bringing peace, love, joy and happiness to the entire world. There's a nice verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. It says, Swasti astu vishwasya khala prasidatam. That means, yes, there are a lot of, evils, lot of events happening, but let there be peace, all around. So please, can someone distribute chanting beads to everyone? Oh, I don't know where my chanting bead is going. No, it might be in the bar science and our spiritual things. So we have about 10 minutes, so we'll chant in unison. So I will, those who don't have the chanting beads, those who have chanting beads, you can chant. And then after we finish one round, then we will just leave a couple of minutes for question and answers, or any comments and reflections. But please make sure that you take one message back home from here, with whatever experience you've had. Okay, is everyone ready? Yes? Or are we meditating in samadhi? There's a new form of samadhi, and it's called, the first word is S, and the last word is, letter is P. And the middle is called Li. So if everyone, we don't use this finger, we use the middle finger and the thumb, and we then chant one mantra, then move forward like this till we come to an end, and then we stop before the end comes. Normally I don't like chanting on the mic, but today because we are chanting in unison, we'll chant one round together, and please follow me. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasri Gaurakinda. So we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivastava Prabhupada. So congratulations to all of you. For some of us, unbeknown to us, our spiritual lives have begun. It's a wonderful path, it's a wonderful process, it's a very sublime process. The perfection of life actually is to achieve the love of the Lord. So here as Prabhupada says, Bhakti nahi, bedhi nahi, khub naam dharo. All we should do is just take this. If anyone wants to take this gift from us, you can take it home. Chant. This is our daily prayers, daily meditation. We have so many prayers, but among them, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the highest prayer, as we know. So, thank you very much for very patiently listening and taking part enthusiastically in the chanting. If you have any reflections or any questions or any comments, we would welcome that for a few minutes, and then we'll have the Aarti. Any questions, anyone? Yes, Prabhu?
You said it is a prayer. So what does it mean? What we pray?
Okay, so it's a prayer. Of course, he knows the answer, but he's just wanting me to, give the answer to everyone. The prayer is that we are requesting the Lord to please accept us, because ultimately our perfection of life is in establishing a loving relationship with the Lord. So relationship is a two-way street. The Lord is loving us all the time. For us, it's a prayer for the Lord to accept us. And of course, in love, it is not only the words. If the husband tells the wife, I love you, but doesn't do anything, it won't last long. So we have to also do some work, some service has to be done. So we are praying to the Lord to please accept us and engage in His loving devotional service. It's a very simple prayer. And for me, I realize this, that actually our position is to serve. If you just close your eyes and think you're always serving someone, someone might think, actually no, I'm like 16-year-old kid and my parents are serving me all the time. I'm not serving anyone. Yeah, but those people also are serving their senses. So we're always serving, so it is better to direct this service in the service of the Lord. So that's the prayer we pray to the Lord to please accept me and engage me in your service. Yeah? Any other reflections from the class or from chanting or any comments? Okay, so we'll, as I said, you can take this home, and chant one round every day, just as a saying thank you to the Lord, and see slowly your life getting changed. Keep coming here, and scientifically from our ancient scriptures we can learn how every action we do, as we know, every action we take is God has equal and opposite reaction. Yeah, we get the reaction for that. I just recently heard one spiritual joke. It says there's a new restaurant in town, and the name is Karma. The name of the restaurant is Karma. There's no menu there, you get what you deserve. Srila Prabhupada ki, Harinam Sankirtan ki. So we'll rise for the Aarti, and then of course we can chant and dance again the holy names. Just have fun together. Yeah, sure. अच्छा तो चालू रखो ना, चालू रखो.
ऐसे बंद करना है,
हाँ.
बाद में ऑन कर लेगा.
So when you get to the middle, you go back around or something?
No, Jimmy has already chosen. You start from here and then you end here. And then you turn around. You don't pass through this one. You don't pass the middle one.
Okay, so
You turn around and then you start again. Like that. I was just saying that you are doing things like